The new Motortown update is about to drop, and we can all look forward to see some long-awaited company features, new buildings and housing plots, massive industries, heavy machinery, new trailers, patrol system update, and many quality of life improvements and bug fixes. And in this video, I will cover everything you need to know about Motortown Update 0.7.14. Welcome to Motortown Hub Update Overview. Before we continue, if you are watching this video soon after its release, chances are that the update is still in public testing phase, meaning that you have to join a test branch to enjoy it, and I will give you step-by-step instructions on how to do it at the end of the video and in the description. Also, this might be the most expensive update ever released, so I will be adding a small coin counter here in the corner to make things more interesting. Now, let's kick things off by taking a look at the many improvements made to the company system, starting with the vehicle depots. These new buildings make vehicle maintenance much more streamlined, and they will surely become an invaluable asset for anyone who loves managing their company fleet. Depot can be constructed on any available plot of land, and you can use Company Route Editor to assign it as one of the stops in your truck or bus routes. Every time your company vehicle visits the depot, it will be serviced, and its condition bar will be restored. Each repair will use some amount of spare parts stored inside the depot, so to keep everything in working order, every now and then the building has to be resupplied. Luckily, each depot can hold enough parts to maintain several vehicles for hours on end, and it is a great improvement when compared to manually repairing every single vehicle you run. To help you manage your depots, a new tab was added to the company menu. From here, you will be able to view every single depot available on the map, monitor the amount of spare parts in storage, and rename each building so that the list looks more organized. Last but not least, by clicking on the restock button, you can resupply the depot remotely from anywhere on the map. Depots come in two different variants. The first one is a grimy and industrial-looking garage, and the second one with a more clean and urban appearance. Both buildings have a spacious interior with plenty of room for the furniture, decorations, and vehicle parking. But most importantly, each building has a different capacity for spare parts, a different size footprint, and requires a different amount of materials to be constructed. As expected, their blueprints can be found at the architect's office. A blueprint for smaller depot number 1 will cost you 50,000 coins, and for the larger depot number 2, it will be 70,000 coins. The depot feature goes much deeper than that, but for the sake of keeping this update overview at a reasonable length, I prepared a companion video which will offer a much more in-depth look at how every aspect of this new system works. It is also important to mention that depots do not replace the old maintenance system, but only add an alternative way to repair your company vehicles. The traditional manual system is still in place, and you can still use it if you so desire. With the advent of depots, each housing plot on the map will become a valuable asset. Land will have an actual practical use, and will play an important role in helping you grow your company. And in order to provide better map coverage, several new purchasable plots were added to the world. You can find one plot at a strategic central location at Byong, one at the northern coast of Oji, one next to the limestone quarry, two beautiful spots in rural Gwangjin, one at the eastern side of Oji Island, two more plots behind the oil refinery, and lastly, one new property at Gujwa. In total, we got 9 new plots, and their combined price is sitting at over 2 million coins. And there is even more great news. The number of company vehicle slots was finally increased to 15, giving you an additional 5 vehicles to manage, so the depot system will really come in clutch. Unfortunately, the new slots won't come cheap. The 11th slot will start at 300,000 coins, and the price will increase by 50,000 for every next slot, meaning that all 5 slots combined will end up costing you another 2 million coins. Lastly, some additional quality of life improvements were added, making maintaining and monitoring your fleet easier. If the condition of any of your company vehicles dips below 20%, a small warning window will appear at the top right of the UI, which is much more noticeable compared to the chat notifications. This system will also let you know if your depot is running low on spare parts, so you can restock them in time. And as a small but welcome addition, you can now see the speed at which your vehicles travel if you mouse over them in the company window map. This should cover all the important company-related changes, and now it's time to say hello to my little friend. This is Terra. Categorized as heavy machinery, this is the first vehicle of its kind in the game. I have only a few words in which I can describe this thing. It is very unique, very large, and very yellow. It also has the largest cargo capacity for a single dump truck, coming at 23 units. To produce those behemoths, a new dedicated heavy machinery factory was established, and it is located at the very southern edge of OG Island. Making even a single such vehicle will become a real undertaking, because 6 different materials will have to be delivered: oil and fuel, containers, pallets of plastics, and some steel coils and H-beams. Fun for the whole family, as my Uncle Vinny used to say. When a shiny new Terra rolls out from the assembly line, it will be available either as a vehicle delivery job or as a vehicle for purchase, and a price tag of 490,000 coins makes it one of the most expensive vehicles in the game. If you decide to get Terra for yourself, it will offer a decent amount of customization. You can change the front bumper model, modify the suspension, or make some limited changes to the powertrain. The rear axle can be equipped with a lockable differential, and the engine can be upgraded to a more powerful 450 horsepower version, which will noticeably improve the performance of the vehicle. And of course, you can paint it. I wanted to mention this because Terra is the first ever vehicle with paintable wheels. They will have the same color as the rest of the vehicle, but you can simply apply some decals to achieve a different look, and it fills me with hope that eventually other vehicles could also get some paintable wheels. If you decide to use Terra as a delivery job, you will have to move it to a limestone quarry, which is a natural habitat for a machine like that. Loading and transporting such a large vehicle is a fun challenge. Just don't forget to install low-max extensions. The delivery process itself looks extremely cool, and making it all the way to the quarry will test your skills and will net you a decent reward. Limestone Quarry is exactly the place where you can put Terra to the test. And in case you don't want to buy it, you can just go to the very bottom of the quarry and borrow one. Just keep in mind that you will have to pay the owner's share fee for using it. In any case, very conveniently, the limestone crushing facility is now operational, adding an additional step to the limestone production chain. To produce limestone, you now must pick up the uncrushed limestone rocks and deliver them for processing. And Terra is supposed to help us do exactly that. Wide open roads of the quarry will make for a great playground to test the abilities of this truck, and even a small fuel pump was added in the area so you can easily top up your tank without going anywhere. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Let's go off-road and deliver some coal with that thing. Well, hold your horses for a moment. First of all, because of its unusual size, Terra will simply not fit inside of most delivery areas, which greatly limits possible use cases. And even with a locked differential and a more powerful engine, off-road performance will remain underwhelming, which is understandable for a vehicle weighing almost 40 tons, just empty. Don't get me wrong, guys. Not for a second would I doubt your imagination when coming up with creative ways to use vehicles. But the only actually practical alternative I can think of would be delivering sand for the concrete factory. Heavy Machinery Factory also works as an extra-large garage, which can accommodate enormous vehicles like Terra. And while Terra can fit in some other heavy-duty service stations, the factory is the only place on the map where Terra can be towed to. So be careful, because towing to the garage might end up being very expensive. Lucky for us, Heavy Machinery Factory allows you to bring and repair any kind of vehicle here, meaning that we get yet another convenient garage at our disposal. And the cherry on top is that it's always open, without being dependent on town bonuses. All in all, because of a very narrow area of application, Terra seems to be almost like a trophy vehicle, something very cool to own, but something you will use only once in a while. That being said, it is also an extremely good-looking vehicle, and most likely, this is only the first step in a whole new line of heavy machinery. And personally, I am extremely happy to see something so unique present in the game. Now, let's move on and pay a visit to the western OG Desert, where a new plantation industry was established, turning a barren landscape into a thriving oasis, with sprawling crop fields surrounded by a network of beautiful lakes. The plantation is easily accessible from the central OG road and produces a new type of cargo, sunflower seeds, which can be delivered to Dasa or Jeju Harbor for export. Resources like fuel and pallets can be brought to the plantation to give a significant boost to its production speed. And the word on the street is that there are plans to eventually expand this production chain even further. When it comes to transporting sunflower seeds, you can load them into your trusty dump truck or use a dry bulk trailer. But there's also a new third option. This is Hobber, a new dedicated trailer for transporting grain, and it comes in a unique B-double configuration consisting of two separate parts, lead unit and rear unit. You can use the rear unit separately or combine it together with a lead unit to achieve an incredible capacity of 82 units of cargo. And watching it roll past you on a country road is a sight to behold. Trucking enthusiasts will surely be excited by this addition, and hopefully we can expect even more trailers like that in the future. Both trailers offer all the usual customization options and several paintable areas, and the rear unit even offers several different bumpers to choose from. Both Hobber variants can be found at Tosan Trailer Dealership and will cost you 120,000 coins for the rear unit and 150,000 for the lead unit. And while we're at it, let's take a look at Kuda Flatbed, which is the last new vehicle in this update, and a very welcome addition to the Kuda family. On paper, it's pretty much the same truck as Kuda Dry Van, with the exact same dimensions and upgrades, but having an open bed and being able to see your cargo when driving is always a big win in my book. The truck offers a standard range of upgrades, including extra utility slots and a trailer hitch, and noteworthy, Kuda Flatbed also has a lot of separate paintable areas, which allows for a lot of visual customization. As usual, you can find it at Ghost & Truck Dealership, and it will have a price tag of 130,000 coins. This marks the last new buyable thing in this update, and it means that we can finally tally up the score. If you want to get every single new item, then you'd better be ready with 5,260,000 coins in your pocket. That's definitely gonna hurt some wallets. And while you're scrambling to find a new get-rich-quick scheme, let's take a look at the rest of the map updates. New dormitory complexes were added in every major industrial area. 4 in total, you will find them next to the Sanho Refinery, Ara Steel Mill, Nobong Cement Factory, and Dongsan Limestone Quarry. Those buildings serve as accommodations for the factory workers and will generate a significant amount of passenger traffic, meaning that you will have to greatly expand your bus coverage in order to satisfy this new demand. A new warehouse building was added just outside Gwangjin off-road area, close to the already existing material stockpile. The structure itself looks rather unique and fits the surroundings very nicely. As usual, the warehouse will store various supermarket goods, making supplying the remote mountain town much easier. Lastly, the police headquarters building was added to the town of Ara. The structure is truly monumental, with a very large footprint and tons of interesting interior areas to explore. With countless little details peppered around the building, the place just feels alive, and I really recommend you to explore it for yourself. At the parking lot outside the building, you will find several police vehicles ready to be used. That means you no longer have to drive all the way to Ara to perform your police duties, and this brings me nicely to the next point. The patrol system has received a minor update. When driving a police car, you will notice different circular areas around the map. Each circle indicates a patrol zone and will contain several patrol points that you will have to visit. After you've checked every patrol point in the designated area, the patrol coverage of the local town region will be increased, and you will receive a bonus reward. And if other players join you on the patrol duty, the reward will be split based on everyone's contribution. After completion, a new patrol area will appear in a slightly different location, so this change should improve the amount and availability of patrol points in the game, especially in multiplayer, not to mention that extra financial motivation. And if you ever find yourself on the other side of the law, you can now voluntarily surrender by using the roadside assistance menu. If you know the helpless feeling of being upside down in a ditch, waiting for the suspect status to go away, then I am sure you will appreciate this little improvement. Now, before we wrap things up, let's take a look at some important gameplay changes and quality of life improvements. And this time, they are far from minor. A very important change was made to the way roadside assistance works. The cost of the rescue services will now depend on 3 main factors: the distance from the road, the type of the terrain, and the total weight of the vehicle, including cargo. So, if you like doing some heavy hauling in remote off-road areas, then you better be careful, because the cost of every mistake might start to add up very quickly. Some welcome improvements happen to the building system. When previewing blueprints at the architect's office, you will be able to see the size of the building and all the materials required for its construction. The size of each plot of land can now be seen directly from the map, so you will have an easy way to know if the building will fit inside the buildable area and avoid some disappointing situations. And lastly, if you have an active construction site, you will be able to see all the materials you need to deliver directly from the map screen. With all those small changes, building new depots will be a much nicer experience. A massive improvement was made to the decal draw distance, which is now much greater. Decals can now be seen from very far away, even with multiple vehicles at the same time, and the draw distance itself is now tied to your graphics settings. Meat boxes are now considered a timed delivery, and in order to get a full payment, they will have to be delivered within a time limit. This change makes stacking dozens of boxes on a single vehicle much less efficient. A new vehicle tag system was implemented, which can be accessed from the vehicle selection screen. You can now create different custom tags and assign up to 3 of them to any vehicle, so you will have more ways to filter your collection. If you want to quickly load or unload a large amount of cargo, you can now hold the Z or X key to speed up the process. To make the text more visible, the chat box now has a dark background, and you can customize its opacity in the gameplay options menu. As you can see, this update is truly massive, and there are many more little changes and improvements I wish I could cover, but this video's runtime is getting way out of hand. As usual, I will provide a link to complete patch notes in the video description. If by the time you watch this video, the update is still not released officially, you will have to join a public test branch in order to access it. To do so, open the Motortown page in your Steam library and head to the Game Properties menu. Select the Betas tab and you will find a list of all available branches of the game. You will need to select the one called Test. Now just let the game update and you're ready to go. However, make sure to back up your save file just in case anything goes south. This is all I got for you today, so thank you for watching and have fun with the new update. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section below. Thank you very much for your support and for your messages. It really means the world to me. Have a good one, and I will see you all behind the wheel.